We called it.
And I was so happy to see 2019 Josh show up.
Yeah, I still don't know what to make of this team.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.
Welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. The Bills getting the win today, 44-32 over the Tampa Bay Bucs. We're going to talk about Josh Allen. We're going to talk about Keon Coleman. We're going to talk about the defense. We're going to break it all down. But before we do that, Michael, the Bills are now 7-3, coming off a big win over this Bucs team. Ugly to start. Bills figure it out. Josh Allen had a hell of a day.
Yeah, this is going back to the Detroit and the Rams games where it was they couldn't stop anybody and Josh was making plays. He did some wacky things in this game, including the way he started. There were moments I was like, what is he doing? And then, of course, by the time it's over, 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. They score 44 points. He's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
That's why I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this game. I don't know really how to feel about this game and how this team is. Comment in, because even during the game, I'm hearing fans chanting "Fire Joe Brady." I'm hearing fans just crying out for Brian Daboll. I'm hearing "This is bad," all of these things. And you win by 12 points.
And you score 44.
Yeah.
Like but I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, because early on in this game, I'm going, they're broken. Nothing is going to come good from this. And then by the end of it, I'm encouraged. I think they turned back the clock. I think they found rhythm at the end.
Yeah.
But early on, I'm going, this is maybe a wild card team. But when you play like that, put up 44 points, you should win every single game. You score 40 plus points. They were able to get it done. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel.
What do you mean?
Yeah, it is a little bit of that, where it was good. There was a lot of bad. The defense was atrocious. We joked before the game, like, oh, Bucky Irving wasn't going to play in this game. And I had joked to some of the people, and I said, I think I might be able to rush for 100 yards against it. And it's Sean Tucker.
I know.
Goes for 4 touchdowns. And then they make stops at the end, and Cole Bishop looks great. I don't know what to think of this game.
It's totally fair.
That's the big picture.
I think to start with this game, we have to start with the personnel. And that was really the story of the day going into this afternoon's game, was the fact that Keon Coleman was benched. There was an Adam Schefter report that he had missed a team meeting. Sean McDermott said after the game that he was late to a team meeting. That went into their decision to benching Keon Coleman. McCole Hardman was activated, as well as Gabe Davis. So Keon Coleman benched.
Yeah. There's no excuse for this. This has happened multiple times now. It happened last year. It's happened twice this year. He has not learned. When the game was over, I'm standing outside the locker room. He walked out. He did talk to reporters. Here's a little bit about what Keon had to say about being benched for this game and going forward.
Your thoughts on not being active today?
Just got to be better, man.
Was there something that happened that led to this?
I mean, pretty sure everybody already knew that, so I'm going to leave that where it's at, but just got to be better and focus on next week.
Second time this year, Keon, is there a lesson that needs to be learned that you're not learning at this point? Is that what it is?
What you mean?
The second time something like this has happened to you this year, is there a message not being received? Give me a better way to answer it.
No, I wouldn't say that.
So why is this the second time?
Again, I mean, mistakes happen, things happen, but again, got to be better.
How would you describe your conversations with Sean McDermott?
I mean, exactly how you would imagine. Disappointing. I got to be better.
How do you get better?
Doing what I'm supposed to do. Doing the right things, being what I'm supposed to be.
When did you find out you weren't going to be active today?
I mean, I knew that. Shit, you can't make those type of mistakes. You know, you're a professional, so.
Yeah, there were 2 different reports out there. One that you were late to the beginning, and one that you missed the meeting. Can you give any clarification on this?
I mean, late, missing, same difference. You're not where you're supposed to be, but I was late.
Did they give you any indication about Thursday night and how you're possibly playing 4 days from now?
Nah, I mean, we just finished the game. We'll focus on next week when we get there.
How difficult is it to stand and watch your teammates go out and play?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's difficult. It's disappointing. But, I mean, when you understand what result, like what happened to make that happen, then you get it. So you just got to be proud of your teammates and root for them.
How do you approach moving forward from this?
You said what happened?
How do you approach moving forward from this?
Same thing. Just get prepared for the next game.
you got to build trust with Josh. Do you think you feel like you let him down by not being able to, not being out there with him today?
Yeah, I mean, I know that's probably disappointing, of course, but you'll have to, ask him for that, for sure answer, you know what I'm saying?
So Thad Brown was the one who asked him about you learning a lesson, and his answer was no. How do you not learn a lesson? And I know his teammates are saying, we believe in him. I talked to Dion, I talked to him and put it past him and all. I say that after the first time you get benched. This is embarrassing for him. It should be. And he should have stood up and said, it won't happen again. And I did not hear that from him.
Especially when we've heard all off season. I keep going back to what Deion Dawkins said before the season, that this was night and day difference. They can depend on him. All of these things. We're in week 11, and the offense is struggling, and you're not there. Now, Keon didn't specify between whether he was late.
He said late.
Or missed.
He said late.
Because
He
what's
said
the
he was
difference?
late.
McDermott said late.
Yeah.
Adam Schefter's report said missed.
It does, either way,
It doesn't matter.
If you're
Yeah.
late outside of 10 seconds short, when you've already been in trouble for this, you have missed the meeting.
You're on thin ice either way.
Well,
And
to the point where Sean's got to do this. It was a series before, and then this time it's the entire game. And I got to tell you, I said before, I don't think Josh Allen trusts him as a
Yeah.
wide receiver, and he goes out and puts up 44, gets the ball to Shavers, gets Gabe involved. I don't think they missed him one iota in this game.
There was a very funny tweet that somebody said the Bills offense had a Keon Coleman problem.
I mean, that's fair. I was grabbing my phone because Sean McDermott said post-game, talking about another player, Tyrell Shavers, who I'm sure we'll talk about, but he said, quote, the ball finds who works hard. And when he said that, I was like, that is, but it wasn't
No, I know.
intentionally like that, but it just goes to show you that the Keon benching thing is embarrassing. Will he learn from it? I don't know. And that's really concerning when you have a second-year player who was a second-round draft pick, who you see has been talked about of, the Bills need him for this offense, but he has continually been below the bar of what they needed.
And how many times do we say NFL is not for long? Your time in this league or with this team could be not for long because you've made mistakes off the field. And when I'm talking about that, like meeting room kind of stuff and not showing up, and then the team goes out there and puts up 44 without you, they're coming right back to play on Thursday. Sean wasn't committing to anything. He's like, we got to see. But come on, they're coming back in 3 days to play another game. I wouldn't have him on the field
I wouldn't
yet.
either.
I would see what ends up happening.
And we've talked about this before on the channel. Like, this has been, what is Keon Coleman? How is he going to respond? Will he mature? All of these things. But we've also stressed, like, everything that Sean McDermott holds as the principles of his coaching staff is it has to be earned. Everything is earned. Keon Coleman's play on the field has never really earned him the amount that he has gotten. It has felt like it has been handed to him because of the lack of wide receiver depth and all of these kind of things. And then he hasn't earned anything, if anything, lost it off the field. Like, that is what is so frustrating and so hard to wrap my head around, is why this guy has gotten so many seemingly passes.
No pun intended.
Both literally and figuratively
Yeah.
in this offense with this scheme. Because you're right, Mike, they did not skip a beat.
No.
And
It looks
this
better.
was, as
Yeah.
we move forward, this was a clear, this was a trip back to 2019, Mike. This was the Josh Allen experience again.
He was all over the place.
Josh.
That first interception was so bad.
It was a chest pass. It was
He's like,
To the Bucs.
Here. It was like a 1958 basketball chest pass. Put your
Hoosiers.
thumbs together and throw it. He threw it right to him. The second interception was on a 4th down.
Yeah.
But he missed guys like open.
Shakir was
Like,
open.
If
Yeah.
Dan, you just clip those plays together, you'd be like, oh my God, Josh. And then you realize he had 6 touchdowns because it was all over the map with him.
Oh.
But obviously
Look
the
at
majority of it
snow.
Wow.
was good. That's why, honestly, for the purposes of this, I'd much rather talk about what Tyrell Shavers did,
Yeah.
what Gabe Davis did.
Yeah.
Josh Palmer made a couple of plays. I will say Curtis Samuel made a catch. He made it the most
Holy cow.
difficult catch on an easy ball that you're going to see, but he made a catch. So other guys did step up. Ty Johnson, James Cook in the passing game, all those things were good. Sorry, Keon, this train is rolling along. That's the way I look at it.
I do want to highlight Tyrell Shavers, the nice touchdown
Yeah.
catch. That felt like 2019 Josh. And that also felt like Josh of like, there's that Josh Allen that we have known. Josh getting away from from
Pressure.
Thank you. I couldn't
Yep.
remember the word. Getting away from
I speak,
pressure,
Jenna.
rolling out, then finding Tyrell Shavers bringing it in. It was really cool. And Josh Allen was asked after the game just about Tyrell Shavers. He said it's inspiring.
Yeah.
A guy who's worked his way from the practice squad to the active roster and now
Earned
making legitimate plays in the NFL. And that's really cool.
First, this Elena Getzenberg from ESPN tweeted out the first Josh Allen 40-yard touchdown pass in the air, distance 40 or longer, since the end of the 22 season.
Crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But that felt, like you said, there were moments that it was like you turned back the clock. That time was a flat circle. That Gabe Davis is out there and Josh Allen is
Time is a flat circle.
Isn't that the
Yeah,
example?
no, you're right.
Very good.
Okay, I'm saying
Yeah,
you guys
I
are
was
yeah,
very
yeah.
impressed. That was
that,
nice.
You know, he's running down the field and lateraling the ball. Apparently, it was the illegal
yeah.
forward pass.
it
but there
was
were-
cool, though.
It
was a
was-
very cool
It was
play.
very cool. But like that's where you saw it, and to highlight to me more than anything was Josh Allen's emotion after the last touchdown. That was the first time I've seen him so fired up, so much emotion since week 1. And
Yeah.
that was just the wild, when he went up to Elam after and was like, welcome to Buffalo. Like, that was the Josh we've all come to
Prater.
know.
Yeah, Prater.
Prater.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're having trouble. here.
Elam was the other old Denver Broncos kicker.
I was thinking of
Yeah.
Kyer Elam.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow.
Prater.
That
so, yeah.
whole time circle
Dang,
thing
I was
got me
making a good
thrown
point.
off.
No,
and
you
I
were
just-
cooking. You were
No,
You
I
were.
know.
That was
And I
good.
just burned everything.
Well, I'm glad to see Josh have some emotion because sometimes, as someone who, watching the game, and I know a lot of fans have talked about this on the sidelines, it seems like he's kind of keeping everything internal, like having like the sad look or like the kind of dejected look. But to see some emotion, because you
Yeah.
saw Baker out here, the dude we talk about,
Love
a
Baker.
gamer, a dog,
Gosh.
plays with that edge, and you saw that today. But it was nice to see Josh match that and show some of that.
Because there are a lot of things that I can't see on the field. Jen and I
Yeah.
just see through the lens. And even on some of the touchdowns, it was like, touchdown, high five.
Yeah.
That touchdown at the end,
Yeah.
even the one to Shavers a little bit, had a little bit of that. That felt right.
Yeah.
Like, that was really cool. It was good to see that where towards the end, because even when they had scored the 24 points or whatever at halftime, it still felt like, man,
Well, we were joking. We were like, they've
How
had
were they ahead?
33 rushing yards. The Bucs had
Yeah.
20 minutes
They
of
turned it
possession.
over twice.
The Bills had
after
10.
the long Hardman kickoff return, it took them 4 minutes and 10 plays to go 36 yards.
Good
Good
catch. It's quite windy out here if you
Like
can't tell.
that was crazy to me that it was so hard for the Bills to go 36 yards and score a touchdown. To go 36 yards,
They almost
Mike,
threw a pick and they fumbled.
Yes.
and they got 3 first downs. Like, you're averaging less than 4 yards a play. And you're like, hey, great touchdown drive. And I was sitting there on the sidelines going, don't pee on my back and tell me it's raining. And be like, this offense has figured it out. What a drive. It's like, yeah, I guess if you get 60-yard kickoff returns, this offense can work. But by the end of it, I felt like, man, Josh got in a rhythm. Josh started running. The QB powers that we talked about on the
Yeah.
drive up here. Like, they went to some of their old reliable, the James Cook swing pass touchdown. They went to the well of like, hey, this stuff has worked before.
And
Let's do it again.
and the Bucs are terrible at covering running backs
running
out of the
backs.
backfield. Dan, how was it down here? I mean, I was windy. How was it down here?
Not as bad. Like, it was windier pregame, I thought. Like, even
Okay.
watching some of the throws, the ball tailing all over the place. But I thought it died down. It's obviously picked back up as we're recording this pod.
In
Yeah.
the press box, Jenna had a blanket and hand warmers.
Don't tell him that.
That's upsetting.
I'm soft. Like,
You're not Pittsburgh in 2 weeks.
I know. I'm scared.
You're going to look like the kid in A Christmas Story. Can't move my arms.
I'm sure Val Cottrell will have a nice scarf and mittens and gloves for me.
I will say this, for the offense, it was fun. A lot of people got involved in it. And, to get Gabe back out there. Look, for a guy who hasn't
Yeah, keep talking.
played, Gabe made a few plays. He looked pretty good. One in the end zone I thought he was going to catch, and he didn't hold on to it, but they went to him with a quick slant, and he held on to the football. I mean, the guy hasn't played.
Yeah.
So to contribute like that, and obviously Shavers, like you said, Ty Johnson and everybody else, I thought it was really
I
good.
want to focus on Gabe for a second because I know we've joked on this podcast
Mhm.
about whatever, but I thought today you saw some of the throws that Josh threw to Gabe. One in particular was like, he trusts that guy.
Yeah.
Fourth down.
It was a tight window. It was a great catch by Gabe for the first down. And I was like, there's players on this roster, Keon, he would not even attempt that to. But
Yeah.
he has that trust. Now, did Gabe have a dropped touchdown later
Josh
on.
threw that 100, and Josh even said he threw that a little bit hard.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
and
fair.
I
But
think people kept saying that the guy got his hand in there on that. Regardless, it wasn't a touchdown.
either
but-
way, that to me was a step forward of like, this is someone that Josh trusts. And
Yep.
we've seen him make plays before. And I think you saw the boost that he could add. And
Yeah.
I thought he had a nice day. I wasn't expecting him to light the world on fire,
No.
but what he did was enough. You'd like to think that he's able to build off of that. We shall see. It's been
Yep.
a long time since he's played in a game, but encouraging
It'll
nonetheless.
also be interesting to see how he responds, having not played a game, and they're
Yeah.
back in 3 days.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So
quite
4
a
days
test.
to go play again.
And Jenna, to your point, I completely agree. That fourth down play, he came in, and Gabe even said, like, I had a feeling he was coming to me.
Yeah.
And to hit that slant, though, that's a lot of faith, a lot of trust. But that was Josh in rhythm
Mhm.
and confident in his guy.
Yeah.
Like 3-step drop, boom, it's right on
And
his
that
head.
was a very tight window.
Yep.
It's the kind of plays they need to have for Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He needs that play. He's going to make a lot of crazy ones. That's nice and simple. Make the play, make the catch, move on with the first down.
Yeah, it's very true. I had other stuff. Do we
Well,
want to?
Let's go to the
I was
defense.
gonna say, the run defense
Awful.
is a problem,
Awful.
and it's been one for a long time.
Yeah, I was gonna
It
say.
got a little
What year
better
is
in the
it?
second half, but that is like saying, no, I'm not going to say it, but the run defense got a little bit better.
Lincoln, the play.
The play, it was a little better. They made a couple of plays. Cole Bishop's a dude now. He has moved to
How
dude
about
status.
I love Sean McDermott's answer about that you want these guys to come right out of the box and figure it out. But he said he's playing with confidence, and that's what we have stressed. Like, I think Jordan Poyer deserves a lot of credit for that. And we kind of scoffed at, I know I personally scoffed at Poyer coming back. Also, Jordan Poyer,
Was all over the field today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he had to be making tackles 8 yards down the field because they weren't being made at the line of scrimmage,
Yeah.
especially in the run game. Even on special teams, he was making plays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poyer was great. I mean, still just throws his body around with reckless abandon. That guy
Yeah.
can still lay a hit. Tyrell Bernard looked better. He looked better. 11 tackles today. I think it was a season high for him. There was a little bit of a moment where you're like, hey, he's flying around, going back to the huddle. You could even see kind of like that look of like, that's me.
Yeah.
I asked him about just a little bit afterward about how he's feeling. And, that guy's not a whiner.
No.
He goes out and plays. That ankle has been
Yep.
really impacting
You've seen the
him.
impact. Yeah.
And he's trying, and he wants to be out there. And I know a lot of you get frustrated, but because you're watching and he's not making the plays that he had made in the past, but he is playing hurt. And we'll see if he's able to go on Thursday, because that is a quick turnaround for a guy who's, constantly getting that ankle checked, because it is giving him a
Lingering.
hard time. But I think you're right, Dan. He showed some flashes running sideline to sideline. Hopefully it'll get better for him.
What do you make of the third down defense? Because it feels like they do a great job on first and second down, and then third down, it's automatic first down.
Feels like the opposing offense is like, we got him right where we want
Third
him.
and 14.
Third and 14.
It's
like,
crazy.
I don't know how mental it is at this point. It just feels like they're not able to get off the field. It's just been big play, chunk play after one another. Bucs were 8 for 12, I think, at
Yeah.
one point on third down. It's tough.
I
It's
want to
tough
look
win
at
like
the
that.
numbers, Dan. I don't know how it felt to you. I didn't think Max got as many snaps at all.
I was
We were-
hoping that you guys could answer that because
We were saying that. I was
Trey
like,
was
Trey
out
is
there
still
a
in.
lot.
Yep.
Trey is still in. Then I'd be like, oh, Max
Yeah.
is out there. But it felt like Trey definitely got the majority of snaps
the
there.
pass defense in general, I thought was decent.
Decent.
Once
Yeah.
again,
Yeah. But it's just that run defense was bad. Like I said, was better.
Yeah.
They got the turnover they needed with the Bishop play, which was obviously massive.
Yeah.
So that helped. But obviously they have to be better, because Bucky Irving didn't play.
Yeah.
I got to give your
Sean Tucker.
the Syracuse guy, was outstanding. He's got speed. He's a pretty good player.
It does feel like, if we're being critical, Joey Bosa, it feels like it's really a struggle for him to set the edge.
he's struggling. He was laboring again. I don't know if it was his shoulder or his wrist again today. He wasn't wearing the
Club?
the Q-tip,
Yeah.
as they were
Yeah.
calling it, but he still seemed like he was struggling with that. And that's where, again, trying to wrap my head around the big picture of this game. They had 3 awful turnovers. They got crushed in the time of possession. They just shot themselves in the foot once after another, and they still won.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, Sean McDermott talked after the game, and I think this goes to your point of like not knowing what to make of this team. But Sean said, this win took toughness.
Yeah.
And
like
I
that.
agree because they had to outlast some
Yep.
bad plays.
The
but
Hardman
this team,
fumble was
yeah.
such
Terrible.
a backbreaker.
yeah, that
because
was
the
You got to
defense had
stop
gotten
on
to stop.
You got to stop on third down.
I talked to Mike. I was like, that sucks for the defense.
Yeah,
You
'cause
think
you're
you're
like,
going
"We
off the
did it.
field, and
We
then
gotta stop."
And then not only are you going back on, but you're 30 yards
I will
further
say,
down the
I don't
field.
know what got into the return guys today.
Well, I was going to say,
Ray Davis.
I thought this was their best and possibly worst special teams game.
No, I thought it was a really, really good
The
special
dumb
team.
play on the blocked field goal.
Yeah, but I don't think that was a penalty. I think that was a terrible call.
Yeah.
J.J. Watt called it as soon as it happened.
Really?
really?
He called it as soon as they saw the flag. He goes 70 held
Wow.
to
okay.
allow the guy to come
Well,
in.
I know
And then the
Chris
fumbled punt-
Tabor was lighting up the official going off the field. I don't know, as a special teams coach, but they ran back multiple kick return. I mean, this team has done virtually nothing in the
Nothing, yeah.
return game. So, and then Hardman left with a calf. I
Calf.
think it happened on that play.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was pretty much being carried off the field at the end of the game because I thought he got benched for a second just
Yeah.
because of how bad the fumble was. Because honestly, the ball was in the air and I'm like, fair catch it, catch
Yeah,
it. And the guy
that's-
was
yeah.
right there. It was
Just
a
came
bad
and punched it.
It was
right
a
out.
bad
Yeah.
decision to
Yeah.
return that. I know that's why I kept thinking this team is pressing to try and make something happen because for the first time in a long time, they had good field position offensively.
Yeah.
And then you're sitting there and then it's like the Curtis Samuel one over there. Like the ball lands and it's like now you're backed up again. And the Bills go on a awesome 4-minute drive, 85 yards and to seal the game. Like it was such a weird game. It was drunk. This game was
It was
drunk.
definitely. And I will say this, as bad as the defense was for a majority of the game, to get that stop on the first series after Josh's bad interception
Yes.
was big.
Huge.
Yep.
Because that was, you're
That
sitting
kept
back at your
them-
own,
yeah.
5-yard line and he throws that pick.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was not good.
I know we talked about it, but Ray Davis had a nice game. And I do think for him, it's probably been really hard this season.
Yeah.
Very limited touches on the field, but for him to make an impact in the return game was, I think it was impressive.
This was the first game where the depth in the backfield all showed up.
Yes.
Yes.
Ray made plays in special teams. Ty made a play in the pass game. James Cook maybe didn't get the rushing yardage, but made plays in the pass game. He's becoming more of a guy in the pass game.
Yeah.
They're looking for him. They missed him a couple of times, but it's good to see James get the ball.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about how it felt like the good old days. To see them struggle to run the ball so much the first 3 quarters, and then they had the ground game to put it away.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see. For James Cook to be bottled up and contained so much for 3 quarters.
So good.
Then to have the patience to get 6 yards, 8 yards, and to keep the Bills ahead, on schedule was so crucial when, again, I'm filming him on the sidelines. Like, there was the one series when Josh turned it over on 4th down. It was 4 passes, 3 incompletions, and the interception. And you're going, so now we're just going to abandon your best player that's carried the team most of the season? Unbelievable job by him. And I thought that was a good game by Joe Brady. Like, to get back to some of the basics. And we talked about it. He was my Picasso's player, to watch this week.
Yeah.
Because there was so much pressure ramped up on him. Josh, obviously, as always, makes things so easy. But
Sometimes hard.
And to weather the storm a little bit.
Yeah.
Josh with the rough start. Josh said today was a lot of fun outside the first quarter.
After the first quarter.
Which I thought was very accurate.
Oh, by the way, your comments sometimes on Twitter, some of the things people say right after that about Josh. By the way, I want you all to know he's still married, by the way, when he had 6 touchdowns. I mean, I get those
Second
comments
quarterback
like,
ever.
He's ever since he got married, I'm like, it's too many commercials. The same guy has 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
He has played like this before.
He's the second game by a quarterback to throw for 300, throw 3 touchdowns, and rush for 3 touchdowns. The other one was Josh Allen.
Yes.
He's
It's a unicorn.
Yeah. he
first
is.
quarterback ever. That's just the Josh Allen graphic. First quarterback ever.
Another record from this game, Sean McDermott hitting his 100th career win.
For a guy who has no idea what he's doing,
Pretty impressive.
he won 100 games.
For a guy that has been fired by the fans.
Yes.
I
So-
thought that was a nice little
oh
note.
no, I'm obviously that's
yes,
a
you're
great
being-
accomplishment for
Yeah.
him to have 100, and it's quick now. Houston has some issues offensively. We don't know if C.J. Stroud, he was in concussion protocol. They survived today against Tennessee, but their defense is good, and it's a quick turnaround, and that is a very, very big game for this team. It's a conference game, and you can put yourself back to what you would be. What if you win that game? You would be 8-3.
Yeah.
The Patriots at 9-2. So
Yeah.
It felt like this was kind of almost like you stole one. Giving up 32 points, and to know you had 3 turnovers, kind of feels like you found some change in the cushions of the couch.
Well, this
We were
was
right.
a very impactful game for the Buffalo
So-
Plus standings
so
as
it is.
well.
So we're all
First,
set here. Be
second,
sure to like, comment, subscribe.
by the way, last thing from me is that
No,
I had
it's not.
2 games in a row with a prediction on a defensive play, and I was so excited at the end when I saw the ball pop loose on a strip sack of Baker. Thought it was my boy Greg.
No,
It wasn't.
It was not. No, but they did get a strip sack.
I
so
will
that was
say,
good.
I thought you were like, I don't know what this team is, and I don't know.
still
I
don't
don't
know.
know if this team can bounce back. I hear you, but I do think that this
Dan,
organization.
like our Baltimore game, you going to take it as a win? 'Cause
No, you
If
can't
they
take
wouldn't
this.
have scored late, and if they would have, the Bucs would have covered the 5.5.
Because if I take the Baltimore game as a win, then Jenna and I are tied.
No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not a fact. But I will say, I did think that you were being a little bit too critical because I think this organization, at least in the regular season, deserves the benefit of the doubt of figuring it out, especially
This
after
isn't
an
the way-
embarrassing loss.
This was just wild.
right?
Like this, normally
Yes,
this
I-
would have been,
I
they would have
agree.
shut him.
Like this wasn't they bounced back, they figured out the run defense.
I completely agree.
This was
but they showed,
hold on to your butts.
You know what it
They
is?
but
held
they
on.
showed toughness.
They did in a different kind of toughness.
Yes.
Toughness, not like, but here's the
They
other
gr-
thing.
they-
Imagine like thinking this was going to be like a low scoring game, like betting the
That's
under on
crazy
this.
work. That was actually really mean. That was mean.
That was kinda-
That was really
Did they
mean.
almost go over by themselves?
Did they go? I think they did go over by
It was
themselves.
47.5.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That was
No,
that
you
was
are
a
right.
low
no,
blow,
when
Michael.
Sean talks about like
No
the
way I
nastiness
thought
and
they
the
were
edge
scoring
they had on
44
defense and like
points.
attitude, the defense didn't play nasty.
No,
like,
they didn't.
But I do think that there was a toughness in this game that's not like they were able to withstand. They showed that they could figure it out as they went. Was it always pretty? No. Even in some of the pretty moments, you're like, oh, this feels pretty lucky. But whatever. This team got back on track, and that's what they needed. But we'll see on Houston.
It's a different kind of hindsight win. Take the
Yeah.
fact
Yes,
that Josh
yeah.
got going and get ready. Just put it behind you. Get ready
I
for
said, with-
Houston.
I think there
Did
was.
you look at the weather for Houston?
84.
I'm gonna say like there was 9 minutes to go. The Bills are up 5, and they were kicking off, and I'm going. There's so much game left.
Yeah.
Like-
it felt like a slow
Like,
game.
so you know what I'm
too.
saying? Like that's where you're trying to look at it in small, like going through with a fine tooth comb while also looking at the big picture.
No, I
He's
just
just-
thought it was going to be a
He's
win.
just too reactionary. You're hysterical.
Women.
Sorry. Some man told me to smile today, and
Yeah.
Did you lose it?
I didn't say anything, but I was like, I will burn this to the
Normal
ground.
size feet, not high. Jenna Cottrell.
Although right now I look very lit, so there's that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Please be sure
Lit,
to
I get
like,
it.
comment,
and
and
subscribe.
The Bills win. They're 7-3. They have Houston on Thursday. We'll have plenty of pregame coverage as we roll into this week down in Texas. For Mike Catalana and Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Thank you so much. Again, like, comment, subscribe,
Did we
and
already do
share. We already did,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Hysterical. Catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus podcast. Thanks.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.